Today I got a question on my Instagram account. How can I tell when I'm practicing what a square club face looks like? Well, good news is today I've got a little drill, a little setup that's going to help you with three things. One, with body alignment. Two, with ball position. And three, is going to give you a reference point as to what a square club face looks like. Let's go get started. Let's first recognize that every player has alignment issues. We see things much better this way than we do this way. So for every single player, alignment is going to be an issue. So how can we keep that in check? Well, if we practice well with the arrangement that I have here and what I'll teach you, then there's a higher chance of you maintaining good alignment in practice and being able to transfer it to the course. But when we do practice, one of the first things that tends to drop off in players' swings is actually in the setup. That could be an alignment issue, it could be ball position, and that starts to throw off a swing issue, and now we're in big trouble. So if we can maintain good alignment when we're working on our technique or working on our ball striking, then we're going to be in much better shape. Once we start to work on more skill, so shot shaping, trajectory control, we may not need to use this particular station. But again, if we're just everyday practice working on our technique or our ball striking drills, let's put down an alignment station to make sure that we're aimed well. The first stick that I have down here is basically pointing directly at the target. Make sure you take the time and effort to really line that up because it's not easy. I do this a million times a day, and to get this directly at the target is not always easy. Again, your eyes are going to trick you. I use a club to make sure that I have it pointing directly at the target. So I close one eye, I run my shaft along that alignment stick and make sure that it goes through to the flag. The second alignment stick I have here is 90 degrees to the target line, so it's perpendicular to that target line. So now I have a reference for two things. One, where the target is, and two, the 90 degree to the target line. You'll notice that these two alignment sticks forms the letter T. And so the outside stick, this guy out here, this one again is the target line. The other alignment stick is perpendicular, and that's the stick that I'm going to use as a reference for my ball position. And I will check where my ankles are, not so much the toes, because often the front foot is turned out a little more than the back foot. I'm looking to see the gap or spacing between my ankles. And if I'm hitting a 7-iron, I'm going to want to see that in the middle of my stance. If I'm hitting a driver, then I'm going to be shifting so that that front toe is much closer, or that front heel is much closer to that alignment stick. So this is a great reference here. I have an awareness of where the target is with this outside stick, and then I have a reference to my ball position. Finally, we're going to talk about the club face. I said finally, let's look at the club face, but that is the most important part. And it's actually the first thing that I do. So once I've got my grip on, I walk in, number one job, aim the club face. Then I build my setup and my stance around that. So I'm going to show you here how to use this setup in this particular station to make sure your club face is square. Okay, so the way that I use this setup to ensure that I have a square club face at address is once I'm all set here, I'm going to move the club over to this alignment stick that is perpendicular to the target line, and if the grooves match up, then the club face is square. If I'm open, so let's open the club face a little bit to the target line here, you'll start to see that gap open up on the toe of the club there. And if I'm closed, you'll start to see that now there's a bit of a gap on the heel. So I can come over here and I can check that I'm square, or I can get square, and then with my grip on and everything else, just move it over to the golf ball, and now we're ready to go. Let's aim the club face, we'll build our stance and build our setup around that. So typically I'm in already, I have my left hand on, I'll go and put my right hand on, and now I'm going to step in, and I'm going to aim the club face. I'm going to build my setup around that, and then I'm going to use what I have here for feedback. Okay, ball position looks good. I can tell my toes look parallel to the target line. Finally, once I'm set up here, I want to check the club face, then I'm going to scooch back and I'm going to check how the grooves are sitting relative to this alignment stick here that's perpendicular to the target line. So if I happen to be square, the club is going to line up relatively flush with that alignment stick. If it happens to be open, the toe is going to be away from the alignment stick, and if I was closed, the heel is going to be away. So this is a great little self-check. There's nobody else out here. I'm not sure if I'm doing well or not. I want to make sure that I have good alignment so that I don't encourage a swing issue. I'm all set. I'll come back over and check it. Yeah, I'm doing well. And I would test that every now and then. Well guys, I really hope you incorporate this into your practice, because alignment obviously is so critical. Once that alignment drops off, as we said, then we start to encourage swing issues that are going to compensate for that poor alignment. So do your best, make sure that that alignment doesn't drop off. If you like what you saw, please go ahead and hit the like button. I've linked my Instagram account below. If you want a video almost for you, this is going to help a lot of people, but this was based on request. You can comment down below with something that you need help with, and I'll try and shoot a video for you. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. There's lots of good stuff coming to this channel. And of course, guys, until next time, good golfing.